Have you ever wondered why you do certain things almost without thinking? That morning coffee, checking your phone every 5 minutes, or the route you take to work, these are habits, small actions repeated over and over that without you realizing it, build your daily life, define your personality, and ultimately shape the results you get. But how can something so small have such a giant impact on your life? Most people believe that big results require huge one-time actions. But science tells us something different. Losing weight isn't the result of a single day of dieting, nor is learning a language from one night of studying. It's the sum of those tiny daily decisions. It's the power of habits. To understand this, we need to dive into the brain and uncover what we call the habit loop. But first, let me tell you this. Not all habits are created equal. There are neutral habits like yawning, which cause no harm. There are negative habits, those that will hurt you over time. And of course, positive habits, those that help you develop, grow, and achieve your goals. The key is understanding how they work so you can choose what kind of life you want to build. The habit loop starts with a cue or trigger. It's the spark, the detonator. It can be something as simple as a place, walking into the kitchen and feeling like snacking, a specific time, the alarm going off at 7 a.m., an emotional state, feeling stressed or bored. Other people, seeing your friends smoking, a preceding action, finishing dinner. After the cue comes the routine. This is the action itself, the behavior you perform. It can be something physical, like going to the gym, or mental, like starting to worry about a problem. If the cue was stress, the routine might be lighting a cigarette. If the cue was the alarm clock, the routine might be hitting snooze and going back to sleep. It's what you do in response to that cue. Finally, we reach the reward. This is the gratification you get from the routine, the what for of the entire cycle. It's what your brain craves and why the habit gets reinforced. The reward can be relief from stress, a burst of pleasure, a sense of accomplishment, or social approval. It's why your brain decides that this loop is worth repeating in the future. In fact, dopamine, that feel-good molecule, is released not just when you get the reward, but when you anticipate it. Over time, this loop becomes so automatic that it gets etched into your brain's basal ganglia, a primitive part of your brain. You stop consciously thinking about the habit, you just do it. And that's precisely why they're so hard to break. So if you can't just delete a bad habit because your brain already has that neural pathway, what do? Science tells us that the strategy is to substitute the routine. You keep the cue and the reward your brain craves, but you change the action you perform in between. Here's a simple guide to start transforming your habits. Identify the cue. What truly triggers that habit, good or bad? If it's constantly checking your phone, is it boredom, a notification, or simply having it next to you? Be very honest with yourself. Make a list of your daily habits, and for each one, try to identify its cue. Experiment with the routine. Once you have the cue clear, try different actions, routines, when that cue appears that give you a similar reward. If the cue is stress and your routine is smoking, what else could give you a moment of relief? Deep breathing, a short walk, or listening to a song. When you identify a cue, try a new routine for that cue and observe what happens. Uncover the true reward. What do you really seek from that habit? It's not always what it seems. Sometimes we think we want junk food, but we actually seek distraction or comfort. Try variations of the reward or slightly delay gratification to see if your craving diminishes. This will give you clues about what you're truly seeking. Reflect on the real reward of your key habits. Beyond changing the routine, there are two powerful principles for implementing good habits. Make it obvious. If you want to read more, put the book directly on your pillow or nightstand. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes next to your bed. Remove any visual or physical barriers that prevent you from doing it. Make it simple. Don't commit to reading an entire chapter if you never read. Start with 5 pages. Want to exercise? Don't go to the gym for an hour. Do 5 push-ups. The key is consistency, not initial intensity. Make it so easy it's ridiculous not to do it. The power of habits is an incredible tool. It's not just about patience, but about understanding how your own brain works. You can build the life you want, one habit at a time. Every small, repeated action adds up, shapes your character, and brings you closer to your goals. Remember, creativity, learning, well-being, all can be cultivated through intentional habits.